to the deep south as it carries off to the north, and that initial wave of snow showers and freezing rain will be here in hours from now. Still dry across central Illinois. That won't last long, though. We'll get a mix of some snow showers and some freezing rain in late tonight into early tomorrow. Those north and east winds, 10 to 20 miles an hour, will continue as we see temperatures in the upper 20s tonight. Tomorrow, then, low to middle 30s out there. The morning brings freezing rain. Some of us get a cold rain into the afternoon, then before snow showers push through on the backside. We'll talk more about the timings and impacts of this winter weather event coming up as WCIA 3 News at 10 starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
A painful plea. A father loses his son to a drunk driver tonight. His message to people out celebrating. And close call. A woman escapes an apartment fire with her dog, who she thanks for that heads up. And emotional embrace after months serving overseas. American soldiers return to a welcome home fit for heroes.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
We're ringing in the new year with dangerous icy weather, and officials are urging you to take caution if you have to travel anywhere. Good evening, I'm Mark Maxwell. Paul and Jessica have this New Year's Eve off tonight. Meteorologist Jacob Dickey does not. He's been very busy joining us now with some slick road conditions out there. How are things looking? Yeah, the roads are expected to deteriorate very quickly with this event. We get a quick burst of snow. That primes conditions for roads to deteriorate, become very slick with lots of black ice. You can see on our impacts forecast tonight, the worst areas seem to be from Springfield to Champaign to the north and west. Still, though, high impacts expected for Taylorville, Decatur, Champaign, and Danville, with lesser impacts to the south and to the east. While roads are the big concern here area-wide, we also have to watch trees and power lines. If we can get ice to accumulate, that's going to cause some problems out there, especially with gusty winds. Areas that see these wind gusts of 25 to 35 miles an hour plus and see the higher range of our ice accumulation forecast likely going to deal with some power outages in spots as well as some tree damage in addition to the slick roads out there. Here's a look at those alerts, ice storm warnings and winter weather advisories. We're going to talk more about the timing of this and take a look at future track coming up later on in the show. All right, Jacob, thanks so much. With that winter weather heading our way, state police have a few reminders for drivers as well. They say if you see a stuck or crashed vehicle on the side of the road, if it has that orange tape on it, do not call state police. That means they've already checked the vehicle. Also, if you see any vehicles on the shoulder, slow down and move over. An urgent plea from a grieving father tonight. Don't drive drunk. Stephen Brannon lost his 23-year-old son Tristan in a Piatt County car crash yesterday. A tragic story. State police say 34-year-old Justin Slade from Urbana was drunk when he crossed the center line and hit Brannon head on. It happened on Illinois Route 10. Brannon died while Slade was taken to the hospital and got a ticket for driving under the influence. Now, Illinois State Police are reminding people to drive responsibly.
Tragedies are unnecessary, and if the worst case scenario does not occur, a night in jail over New Year's Eve is also no fun and avoidable.
Brandon's father says he hopes people will think about what it would feel like to lose a loved one before you make that choice that could cost someone else their life. And a reminder from area police, IDOT and Lyft are offering free sober rides home tonight. They're also offering $20 credits for Lyft through tomorrow. It's available in Macon and Sangamon counties. The codes are up on your screen now. They're valid until 6 a.m. within those two counties and a few miles to the outskirts. Credits are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Be careful tonight. And new tonight, Champaign police are investigating a shooting that left a teenager hurt. It happened on North Prospect by Francis Drive. Police say the 18-year-old was leaving a business when someone approached him and shot him. He showed up at the hospital just before 5:30 tonight with a gunshot wound to the hand. No one has been arrested yet, but if you have any information about what might have happened, police want you to call them and let them know. A woman is thanking her neighbor tonight for helping her and her dogs escape an apartment fire. The fire started on the bottom floor of this apartment complex, and it filled the other floors up with smoke. Adriana Davies says she was inside with her dogs and didn't see the smoke billowing, but her neighbor Andrew Grady did, so he knocked on her door and helped them to get out safely.
He grabbed one of my dogs, my other dog, and I grabbed Xena, and we just ran out of the building. It was terrible. It was all filled with smoke on the first and second floor, and luckily it wasn't on the third floor.
The landlord says some tenants did have to move out to different apartments because of the damage. All eyes were on Springfield Mayor Jim Langfelder today after Sangamon County's board announced they would defy the state public health guidance and allow bars and restaurants to open for 25% capacity on January 3rd. Today, Langfelder said he doesn't want restaurants to reopen on that date with the rest of the county, but he won't do much to stop them if they do. He says when it comes to restaurants that don't serve alcohol, because the city has no real authority to keep them closed since the city can only suspend liquor licenses.
But as far as opening up the restaurants, I'm all for it. But I think you have to have that distinction of timeline because you want to make the commitment to keep them open for 25% capacity. I think we could figure out a way using health precautionary measures and figure it out.
Restaurants do get the green light to reopen according to the county, but bars do not. That's because the city gives those liquor licenses, and Langfelder is sticking to his previous stance, keeping those two in different categories. Residents and employees at Illinois veterans' homes got their first COVID vaccines this week, those that are run by the state. Illinois announcing the first doses of vaccines were distributed to those who wanted one. The second dose could come in 3 weeks. So far, 794 people in Illinois state-run veterans' homes have already received their COVID vaccination. And here's a look at the latest coronavirus numbers in Illinois. We're seeing another jump in cases, more than 8,000 new infections statewide. Another 133 people died with COVID-19. We're now up to an average of 9% of tests coming back positive this week. Nearly 4,100 people will ring in the new year in the hospital sick with coronavirus. 3 out of every 4 ICU beds are full in Region 3, and ICU beds in Region 6 are down to 68%. They said goodbye for 9 long months. Who was there to welcome 2 hometown heroes back with open arms? Plus this.
It took a lot away from me. It changed me.
He spent years pushing himself to the limit and beyond as an endurance athlete, but his biggest challenge turned out to be out of his control.
Watch Capital Connection Sunday mornings at 10:30 on WCIA 3.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
CI Living is celebrating birthdays, whether you're 1 or 100. If your birthday, family member, or friends is coming up, submit your picture 1 week in advance at WCIA.com. Click on Contest. Include name, birth date, and hometown. CI Living is celebrating birthdays.
The Viewers Club is on the news at 9 on X49. Don't miss your chance to win $100 with your Viewers Club card. Watch the news at 9 on X49 to win.
Emergencies can happen at any moment. That's why at HSHS St. John's Hospital, we are always ready. Ready to save your life. Ready to ease your pain. Ready to calm your fears. Ready to care for you. Today and every day. HSHS St. John's Hospital. Always ready.
From the technological advances in the business of farming to the policy that helps shape the industry. Watch This Week in Agribusiness, Saturday mornings at 5 on WCIA 3. Sponsored by Roofs by Roger.
It's that time of year. Sale prices on flooring and furniture store-wide.
Announcing Carpet Weaver's Great Room Redo event. Now you can complete your room with some of the best deals of the season. Our lowest prices, our biggest financing offers. Save on wood look and worry-free floors, carpet, luxury vinyl, hardwood, and more. Save on furniture and accessories too. Redo your room now and save.
Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. We're flooring people!
Tune in to WCIA 3's Forecast First for the first weather of your day. You can count on meteorologist Kevin Livey, Jack Gervin, Amelia Henderson, and Jacob Dickey. Forecast First from WCIA 3, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Don't spend your time wandering around the web. For the most concise local news and accurate weather coverage, turn to WCIA.com.
Specialist Nicholas Evers. I'm with 1/6 Infantry Regiment. I want to give a shout out to my family back home in Southern Illinois. Love and miss y'all.
Happy holidays from WCIA 3, X49, and Carpenters Union Local 270. WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Bash Heating and Air Conditioning. Live from your local news leader, Jessica Coons, Paul Cicchini, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty and Brett Behrens on sports. You're watching WCIA 3 News at 10.
It's hard when you're away from your family and you come home, and it's nice to be welcomed back.
Dozens of people gathered here at Willard Airport to welcome home members of the Army Reserve today. They've been in the Middle East since March. WCIA 3's Jen Lask joins us now live from the newsroom. Jen, it looked like quite an emotional reunion.
It was, Mark, and the reunion continued, the celebration continued as firefighters from Thomasboro and Rantoul helped lead those hometown heroes back to their homes. They had community members lining the streets to cheer them on as they drove through town. Now, so much has changed in their personal lives this year and in the last 9 months since they left to tour overseas. But some things, like their parents' joy and pride as they returned home, remained the same. When Clinton Lindley left, his daughter was just 5 months old.
And we could just barely hold her to where she could hold her own head up, and now she's saying hello and all kinds of stuff.
A lot has changed since Lindley and his fellow service members left home at the beginning of March.
And that was right when COVID hit, so we ended up getting stuck in Fort Hood for about a month and a half.
And the view upon their return may have been a bit different, but the pride their communities feel remains the same.
This is awesome. I've been a firefighter for 38 years, and this was awesome.
Rantoul firefighter Mark Fullenkamp was part of a group of first responders leading the way for two hometown heroes.
This is something we love doing. You know, we don't want to go to fire calls or wrecks, but we love doing this.
And while masks may cover the smiles of their loved ones, they also reveal their pride, as was the case for Lawrence Ricks.
Just encourage them and love them, because it is hard. I did it. My dad did it. He comes from a long line of service members.
His son Justin called the return home surreal. He hopes others can have the same experience.
We need more, though, like just the amount of people we have that don't get that recognition.
He's thankful to be returning home to a community and a family that understands his sense of duty.
For the country, like, carry on that legacy, continue to protect, continue to be in that position to help.
And as people make lists of goals for 2021, Ricks has a suggestion.
Again, like my father said, just thank a service member when you see them. Even, you're not going to recognize them every day, but if you do recognize them, please say thank you. They're everywhere.
Families tell me that they are so excited to be starting the new year together again. And from all of us here at WCIA, let me just say welcome home and thank you for your service. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Jen, thank you. We'll second that here as well. All right, turning now to Jacob Dickey, who has a look ahead at our weather forecast. What are we in for in 2021?
You know, we got our first ice storm in almost 13 years in central Illinois. The last time was 2008. Here's why. We've got a multifaceted event coming our way. We will start tonight with perhaps a quick burst of some snow showers. The main event, though, will be freezing rain late tonight through much of the day tomorrow. Some of us do warm up just enough to get a cold rain. And we're going to follow it with 2 rounds of snow. We'll talk about the timing and impacts coming up after this.
WCIA 3 News is available online anywhere, anytime. Stay up to date with the latest news, sports, and weather. Just visit WCIA.com. WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Beck's Furniture in Urbana is your one-stop shop for quality home furnishings. A huge display area showcases Beck's large selection of furniture, from bedroom sets and living rooms to dining room furniture and more. Contemporary to classic, Beck's has what you're looking for. If not, they can also order a specific style or fabric that's perfect for you. Excellent customer service and free delivery makes Beck's your solution for any of your furniture needs. Beck's Country Shop in Urbana, serving East Central Illinois for over 60 years.
Storm Tracker on WCIA 3, sponsored by SK Exteriors. No matter what type of weather is coming, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty and his team are ready 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We track every storm because no 2 storms are the same.
What are those roads like? I was out there earlier.
And no 2 towns will feel the same impact.
Storms have been tracking into the...
We're always here. SK Exteriors Storm Tracker on WCIA 3.
We're the Shines family from here at Spengdahl Air Base, Germany.
We'd like to say hello to our family back in America.
My name is Specialist Andrew Doyle. I'm deployed to the Middle East with 1/6 Infantry. I wish my family and loved ones a happy holidays.
Specialist Nicholas Evers. I'm with 1/6 Infantry Regiment. I want to give a shout out to my family back home in Southern Illinois. Love and miss y'all.
Happy holidays from WCIA 3, X49, and Washington Savings Bank. WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
We're expecting a winter weather event to begin late tonight. Things are dry right now. Temperatures where they need to be for a higher impact event. 26. Those north and east winds continuing to pick up. They'll be 10 to 20 miles an hour overnight tonight. Lots of alerts out there. Of course, the WCIA 3 weather app will let you know which alert you're under. Ice storm warnings in purple. The light purples then are winter weather advisories. This ice storm warning primarily the Highway 54 corridor to the north and west is likely to see the highest impacts. Still, though, slick spots and impacts expected area-wide tonight into tomorrow. Here's a look at the general trend here. We're at the coldest part of the night. A very slow rising in temperatures is expected here. Some of us will get above freezing by tomorrow morning. Some of us will not. That's going to depend on where you are. We'll use Future Track to help illustrate that. You'll see temperatures on there and then the initial round of snow showers coming in early. That happens after midnight tonight. That quick band of snow will likely prime surfaces by giving it a place for ice to form on. We put ice crystals on trees, on roads, on bridges, and on power lines. And then on top of that, we add super cooled water, freezing rain. When that water touches any ice or snow that's on those trees and power lines, it's going to freeze very quickly. Roadways will become very slick. 3 a.m., widespread freezing rain. That's the story even into 6 a.m. Our temperatures still upper 20s and low 30s. You'll notice Effingham, 6 a.m. sitting at 33. Some of that more mild temperatures and mild air does try to work to the north, but 8 a.m. still seeing widespread freezing rain. We think that freezing line will come somewhere close to I-72 by tomorrow late morning into the early afternoon hours, and it likely will hang around there. Probably Ford, McLean, Livingston, Iroquois counties, potentially DeWitt counties and Logan counties staying under the freezing level. Below that, keeping a freezing rain all day long tomorrow. You'll notice some warmer air does come into the Springfield area, but then watch to the south and west. A quick transition to some more freezing rain and snow showers expected in the backside. That will carry generally along the I-55, along the Highway 54 corridor. By late tomorrow night, we're drying things out and dry to start Saturday. Here's a look at the freezing rain and ice totals. This area in pink that's hatched has the best chance to see a 1/10 to a 1/4 of an inch of rain. Freezing rain, that is, ice accumulation. Some spots will see greater than a 1/4 of an inch. We'll expect a 1/10 or less to the south. Those highest impacts are going to be to the north and west, generally along Highway 54 and to the north here. Still, though, high impacts to the south of that, gradually trending downward the further south you go towards I-70. Main concern is going to be roadways. The roads will be absolutely slick. As we go into tomorrow, we'll have to watch trees and power lines if we get enough ice to form on them. And then we add the winds tomorrow. We're expecting gusts of 25 to 35 miles an hour. That will cause some concerns. The ice will likely cause some tree damage, perhaps even bring some power lines down. So charge your phones tonight and just be prepared for some outages in spots tonight, late tonight into tomorrow. We do think that on the backside, we may get a quick transition to some snow. Again, could get a 1/2 inch to an inch on top of that. Insult on injury. Future Track shows that first round coming out. Another one may follow that then as we go into Saturday night, seeing a mix of rain and snow back on the table for us here. So likely into the weekend, things looking slick, icy, and a bit nasty out there in spots. Download that WCIA 3 weather app. It'll keep you up to date with the latest alerts, the forecast updates, and more, especially in this next 24 to 36 hours here. We encourage you stay home tonight, stay home much of the day tomorrow. Check that app for updates. And, of course, if you have any reports in your neighborhood, send them our way. If you're looking for milder weather, mid-40s on the board as we start next week with some sunshine. It'll be something we're looking forward to. 2021 will start nice, but not right away. We'll give it a little time.
Yeah, travelers take note. Some treacherous paths ahead.
Yeah, those roads, again, they'll get really slick really quick. Black ice can be very dangerous and catch you off guard.
Jacob Dickey, thanks. If you're looking for a bright spot to end the year, we've got one for you from Linda. She says this little guy's been her bright spot this month. It's her grandson, new grandson, Declan. Declan, your parents know how to pick a pretty cool name. He joins two bigger sisters, his big sisters. They're a proud family. We want to see more pictures, videos, your bright spots in your life. You can send them to these places up on your screen now, and we'll help to share those bright spots around Central Illinois. The Census Bureau is set to miss a year-end deadline for the first time. Why? That could impact who's included in the count. Plus this.
Because at the end of the day, it's about making sure that everybody is safe.
Marijuana has been legal in Illinois for nearly an entire year now, but have police seen that uptick in the DUIs they were so worried about?
Throw away your shovel and enter to win a snowblower at WCIA.com. All you gotta do is guess the date of the first 3-inch snowfall in Champaign or Springfield, and you could win a snowblower from Lanes Inc. or Shambana Sales.
Win a snowblower for the correct Champaign snowfall guess, courtesy of Shambana Sales. Or the correct Springfield snowfall guess from Lands Inc. Enter the Let It Snow contest at WCIA.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, farm is in our name, so you know we're animal experts. We offer genuine value on everything you need to keep pets, livestock, and wild birds happy and healthy. Like 20% off dog and cat health supplements. 10 packs of berry and woodpecker suet are just $8.99. And keep chickens healthy with these heated poultry drinkers, $4 off. Plus, buy online and pick up your items in our convenient drive-thru. You don't even need to get out of your car.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Finally home. Okay, let's go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Welcome to the final days of Toyotathon. Here for a great deal.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the wait is over.
Oh, Camry.
Yes.
Right now, during Toyotathon, you can get 0.9% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry or 2021 RAV4.
You can get a great deal, too, at Toyotathon, but it all ends January 4th.
Toyota, let's go places.
CashNetUSA.com, man. I help when money's tight. If approved, you may get the money you need as soon as the same business day. Get the cash you need fast. Apply online today. Go to CashNetUSA.com. Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Hello, I'm Staff Sergeant Crystal Alcantara with the 1 ERQG at Al-Assad Air Base in Iraq, and I just want to wish my family and friends back home Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and Happy New Year.
And I wanted to wish all of my family and friends in the Champaign, Illinois area a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Please stay safe, happy, and healthy. And to my nephews, Jaden and Gannon, please give Totoro a big ol' hug for me.
Happy holidays from WCIA 3, X49, and Prospect Bank.
Well, every Christmas morning, my favorite memory is my brother rushing into my room early in the morning and bringing me my first Christmas gift, which every year is a matching set of pajamas. So we put on our pajamas, and then we run down the stairs, and every Christmas, my mom sets up this huge Christmas brunch for us. So we eat our breakfast, and then we open all of our presents. So it's a Henderson tradition I love every single year.
WCIA 3. The Viewers Club is on the news at 9 on X49. Every weekday, you'll have a chance to win $100. Watch for your Viewers Club card number. If you see your number, claim your prize. Watch the news at 9 on X49 to win.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
For the first time, the Census Bureau will miss its year-end deadline to submit the numbers that they use to set those congressional districts, the election maps. President Trump issued a presidential memorandum to exclude people in the country that were here undocumented from that count. But if the numbers aren't submitted until after President-elect Biden takes office, he could reverse that decision. Census numbers would also help to determine how $1.5 trillion in federal funding will go out and be distributed this year. Illinois came in with the second largest decline in population, down 0.63%. It stands to lose at least one congressional seat in the new decade. Last year, New Year, was the first day of legal weed in Illinois, and police warned at the time we might see a rise in DUI. But Macon County's sheriff says they haven't actually noticed much of an uptick in DUI or marijuana-related arrests this year. And he's not so sure if maybe the pandemic had something to do with it, but he hopes the trend sticks.
I'm very happy. And the reason why I'm happy, because at the end of the day, it's about making sure that everybody is safe. And those are my concerns.
Brown hopes that testing for marijuana will still improve so officers can get faster, more immediate results. The start of the new year means more people will make more money. people making minimum wage, that is. Starting tomorrow, the wage floor in Illinois goes up to $11 an hour. It's supposed to reach $15 an hour in 2025, escalating all the way there. The next increase comes next new year, January 2022, when it goes to $12 an hour. All right, Brett Barron's here now with our final sports broadcast in this 2020. What a year it's been.
And what a year it's been when you think back. Sports canceled in March, essentially. It was nothing going on. We managed to persevere, and we've got a great story coming up about one guy, an Illinois baseball coaching assistant who is looking for the edge, looking for the extreme. More on that next.
WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Pontiac RV.
Attention Central Illinois truck buyers. Visit Champaign Ford City for your Ford F-Series truck needs. America's best-selling truck for 43 straight years. We offer the lowest truck and SUV prices. The price you see is the price you pay every single time. We're located just off the I-74 and I-57 interchange in Champaign. Can't stop by? We will come to you. Providing free delivery to your home anywhere in the state of Illinois. Champaign Ford City, your Central Illinois truck destination.
My name is Jordan Butt, and I am one of the co-owners of It's a Wrap Automotive. I have always wanted to own my own business. So the whole entire time I was enrolled at Parkland College doing digital media and the automotive, I was detailing vehicles out of my parents' garage. Parkland was a smart move for me because it really helped me narrow down my career path. And the resources available at Parkland seriously helped that.
Trust the WCIA3 weather team. Our experience brings you the most accurate forecast in Central Illinois and the latest weather conditions from outside in the Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing Weather Garden. WCIA3, your local weather leader. WCIA3 News is sponsored by CIBM Bank. From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA3 Sports and your Illini Nation.
The Illinois women's basketball team was anxious to get back on the court today. They haven't played a game in 21 days with back-to-back postponements due to COVID-19. Illinois visiting Big Ten frontrunner, the preseason favorite Indiana for New Year's Eve matinee. We pick it up in the second quarter. Already down 11. Jada Peoples hits the open three, but Illinois playing from behind all game. Later in the third, a 22-point game at this point. Kennedy Miles with a step-back jumper. She leads the Illini with 15 points, but too much from the Hoosiers. Mackenzie Holmes lays it in. The nice finish in the paint. She had a game-high 18 points, and Indiana takes it to 79-56. The end of the year is always a time of reflection, and as we look forward to brighter days, hopefully in 2021, Illinois volunteer baseball coach Kurt Courtright is smiling. It has been an eventful year in past 16 to 18 months for the Lincoln native, who more than anything loves to see just how far he can push himself. He finished top 50 in the world in the Tough Mudder seen here, but as WCIA3's Marley Weirda shows us, it's nothing compared to the adversity he was in for last fall.
I hope to keep going until I quit.
Kurt Courtright is still looking to find his limit.
I want to find something that breaks me, to be very honest.
When the Illinois volunteer assistant coach isn't on the baseball field, he's training as an endurance athlete and is a three-time finisher of the world's toughest mudder.
Good work, fellas. Good work, guys. There is no finish line. It's a 5-mile lap, 30 obstacles per lap, and you just run as many laps as you can in 25 hours. I kind of got to learn, a little bit about who I am and what I can do and what I can put my body through.
In 2016, Kurt ran 75 miles and placed 35th out of 1,200 people. His entire family was there to see it, but his brother Craig remembers the year before when he tore his meniscus during the race.
Hands down, the most inspirational thing I've ever witnessed. He was literally crawling through the desert to reach his goal. And this moment right here has made me a better person. Even though I'm the older brother, I've always looked up to him and his work ethic and the mental toughness.
Kurt spent 3 straight years pushing his mind and body to the extreme between training and competing. But there was another obstacle ahead long after he finished the race.
The doctor said, hey, you're not going to die. And so immediately I was like, okay, let's go. No big deal. We can get through this.
Last fall, Kurt was diagnosed with testicular cancer. He had surgery right after he found out and went through 21 rounds of chemo.
At first, I thought, hey, the chemo is no big deal. I can handle this. But now looking back, you know, it did. It took a lot away from me. It changed me. And so now I guess my biggest challenge is just to fight back and not let it.
After a year-long battle, Kurt is now cancer-free, but still isn't done pushing his limits. The Lincoln native is training for the Ouray race in Colorado. It's a 100-mile run through the mountains that can take more than 35 hours to complete.
I want to know what my limit is. I really do. I know it's kind of a scary thing, but I want to see where that's at.
But after everything he's conquered so far, limitless might be a better way to put it. Reporting for your Illini Nation, Marley Weirda, WCIA 3 Sports.
Marley, thanks. Great to see perseverance there through a cancer diagnosis. Obviously scary, and for him to say, how far can we push ourselves?
Cancer couldn't keep him down.
Exactly.
You love to see it. Brett, thanks. Our final check of the weather is next.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Midas Tire and Auto in Urbana.
A precision operation demands advanced inputs to keep it running smoothly. New Delaro Complete Fungicide from Bayer protects corn and soybeans, delivering higher yields, even in unpredictable conditions. Season after season, keep your farm moving forward with help from Delaro Complete.
Dear parents, can we take a time out from our crazy lives for a second and think about how awesome play is? This thing we love to do just because it's fun, it's actually helping us grow in all kinds of ways. And the only trick is to mix up the ways we play, because different kinds of play gives us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, time in.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's no accident we've got celebrated history, world-class culture, memorable meals, picturesque walks, sun-kissed spins, thriving careers, and innovative medicine. But for all the enviable things we're known for, none means more than being able to say, this is home. We are unmistakably Springfield and Sangamon County.
Tomorrow on CI Living, we take a look back at our favorite arts, crafts, and hobby segments from 2020.
From junk journals to quilting and a whole lot more. We hope you'll join us at 4.
Well, we got Jacob Dickey here with us for the final forecast. Also, we're looking at Times Square to see that ball drop in less than half an hour East Coast time.
Yeah, looking forward to that, get 2020 out of here. But 2021 starting quite active for us in central Illinois. We will get freezing rain tonight. Could get a quick burst of snow. If that happens, that seems to be the worst case scenario for us as far as impacts to roads, bridges, power lines, and trees. Cold rain for some of us tomorrow. Some of us stay in a freezing rain all day. And then we transition to some snow showers in the backside as it exits. Another round of snow looks likely in parts of central Illinois by Saturday afternoon, especially into Saturday night. Some milder, drier weather will make it here before long.
All right, and we want to forget a lot of 2020, but one of those things we want to remember in the new year, how to make those small sacrifices for each other, looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
Have a great night and a great new year.